meet me at the waterfront after the social. That's right, the 80s slasher classic, Sleepaway Camp, starring Felissa Rose and directed by Robert Hiltzik. One of the most famous slashers of the early 1980s for its praise for its absolutely shocking conclusion. And so we begin the film at the lake with this father and his two young children just chilling, having some summer fun. And we see this speedboat whizzing by with these young teenagers, and they're going water skiing. And this silly, naive young girl decides she wants to take over control of the wheels. And she's never driven a boat in her entire life, so we have drastic consequences. She runs over the father and kills one of the little kids, and leaving only young Angela as the survivor. So next scene we see Angela's house, where she's staying with her cousin Ricky, and they're taken care of by their Aunt Martha, who's quite eccentric in a crazy, cuckoo over-the-top performance. It's hilarious. She's like, "Oh my God, we're going to be late for the summer camp." Oh no, they will not be happy with that at all. It's a funny, hilarious performance. I love it. And there's a lot of 80s, classic 80s cheese in this movie. And there's such a charm about it that I love. And especially you see some of the fashion. These dudes wearing the half shirts and these white socks up to their knees. And it's funny because I'm an 80s child, of course, and also I can relate to the character of Angela because she's very quiet and reserved, and she is sitting in the corner just staring blankly into space. And that's kind of how I was. But the kids go off to summer camp and they meet these crazy group of counselors and this crazy group of kids. And a lot of the kids pick on Angela because she's so quiet and she doesn't really talk for like the first half of the movie. And her cousin Ricky is constantly defending her, fending off the bullies. And you know, the bullies like throw water balloons at her and they grab her and start shaking her because she won't answer their questions. And the girls are really, really mean. There's a girl named Judy who's like just out to get her. She can't stand Angela. And her friend, one of the counselors, Meg, who's about 17, 18. And for some reason she's got a crush on this old man who runs the camp. He's like 65 years old, and she asks him on a date. And she gets all excited about it. So she's like, "Oh, I got a date tonight." She gets all dolled up and she goes to take a shower because she's got a big date tonight with the 60-year-old Mr. Furley. But bad things start happening around camp, and we don't know what's going on because people are dying. And it's very mysterious, kind of just like Friday the 13th, where you don't know who the killer is. You don't see the face, you just like see the body and you see him in the background. And definitely the story hints at several different people possibly being the killer. Is it Angela? Is it Ricky? He's got motive because he's tired of dealing with these bullies harassing Angela. And Ricky himself actually picks on this kid, this one kid, and they play crazy pranks on him. It's funny. And at one point the kid takes out a knife. I was like, "Oh damn, hold on there, buddy." And so he has motive too. So as the movie goes along, it does start to begin a darker tone as the movie goes forward. And as people are murdered in gruesome fashion, one kid is drowned. One kid there, he gets a bee's nest put on him, and he gets bitten by like 1,000 different bees, and you see him nasty bites everywhere. One dude who's actually like a pedophile, which I'm surprised they got away with that back then. It must have been pretty damn controversial. But he gets his. You see the hands grab a stool while he's stirring a big, huge pot of boiling water, and bam, the stool is ripped right from him, and it drops the whole pot of water on him. You see, it's like, oh! Burns all over his hands. It's nasty effects. His whole face is burning. Oh! And this one counselor brings a group of kids in the middle of the night. They're sleeping bags. It's dark, and unfortunately they meet their end as well. And you see the sleeping bags all hacked up, and the kids are all hacked up, and it's pretty nasty. And Angela, we find as the movie goes along, there's this young kid, this young boy that actually likes her, and wants to try and bring her out of her shell. And he does, so she starts actually talking to him. She does actually like him. So they start going out, they have a little thing. But as he tries to get closer to her, she pulls further away. She runs away at one point when he tries to kiss her. Yeah, so every time he gets closer, she kind of backs away. She puts her guard up, you know, and she starts having these crazy flashbacks to, you know, back when the incident happened at the beginning when her father was murdered. So she really starts to freak out, and then at one point, the mean girls, grab her and they throw her into the river, and she really freaks out. And Ricky again comes to a rescue, but the leader of the camp, the old man, believes that Ricky is the killer, and Meg also ends up, like I said before, she goes to take a shower, and it becomes like the scene from Psycho, and he hacks at the shower scene. Meg gets hacked, and the knife goes right through the shower itself, and it goes all the way down her back, and you see the blood splurting, and then you see the scene of a hand putting the knife under the shower, washing off the blood. It's a pretty cool scene. It's pretty sick. And then so as the movie goes forward, the young boy apologizes to Angela and wants to make it up to her. And she said, "Will you please forgive me? I'm so sorry the way I treated you. I didn't mean to come on so strong." And then she has the line, meet me by the lake after the social." And so they do. And they decide, oh, let's go skinny dipping. Just like, let's take our clothes off. And then the other counselors in the meantime are looking around for the killer. They're searching through the woods. And they stumble upon Angela, and you see her sitting Indian style on the ground, and she's nude, and she turns around slowly, and you see she's cradling her boyfriend in her arms, and as soon as she gets up, his head falls to the ground. It's like a severed head. And she got this crazy eye look in her face. And as the camera scrolls down, you see that Angela is not a girl, she's a boy. So then we flash back to the scene with her aunt, and she's like, "Oh, I always wanted a little girl. Isn't that right, Peter?" So now you find out that Peter actually survived, and Angela is the one that died in the beginning there. So and then you see this camera scroll down even further, and you see the junk. Shocking ending back in the day, really shocking. And it's kind of horrifying, the look on her face, and it's really well shot, really well done. I love it. So Running by Sleepaway Camp. Excellent DVD here by Scream Factory. Running by it, all kinds of great making of extras and all that great stuff. And thank you for joining me, Sean Erschen, in the Horror Corner. Tune in and stay scared.